Hi, my name's Chase, and we'll be talking about social justice and the book Persepolis. How does the novel explore the question of what is just? The novel Persepolis demonstrates similar types of laws. There is a law commanded by the deliverers of divine justice where they think they are helping protect the community and are doing right for justice. In one scene, the deliverers of divine justice were sketched to be whipping, burning with an iron, and killing revolutionaries or people that are related to them. How does the novel explore the question of what is fair? This novel also demonstrates how fair each other are within society and how equal they treat the people in jail as well. Old military pilots that were locked up in prison were asked to fight for Iran. The only way the pilots were going to fight for Iran against Iraq would be if they played the Iranian national anthem on live TV. President Bannister of Iran has ordered the release of military pilots jailed after they failed COPE. They agreed to attack Iraq if the government broadcast the national anthem. This was a fair decision by the government to play the national anthem to fight for your country. In the novel, what social injustice is illustrated explored? Number 1. Maid of Satrapi family Marie was not appreciated by her boss, Marjane's father, and was not allowed to continue talking or messaging neighbor's son, Hossein. Number 2. In the novel, the government ruled out a law against women not wearing veils. The veil protects women from all potential rapists. They decreed that wearing the veil was obligatory. Marjane got upset about women being forced to cover up their hair, but not men. Number 3. The government of Iran and the guardians of the revolution forbid Western music and punk clothing, since every woman should be wearing a veil. Marjane was caught wearing punk clothing and listening to American music, and the guardians had to explain the duties and responsibilities of Muslim women in Iran. Who or what is responsible? In one way, the government is responsible for creating the differences and issues with social classes. In another way, it's the way people are grown up. The government, however, has a much bigger impact on people's choices and opinions of others, which is the reason why Satrapi's maid Marie is looked as a lower class person, which explains why Marjane's father said, "I know Marie pretends to be my daughter. In reality, she is my maid. Do you want to continue seeing her?" They live in a world where dating an unequal social class is not right. Another example, which the government has ended to be responsible, was when they set out laws against Western music and mandatory veils. If you didn't follow the rules, you'd be sent to the committee, which was the HQ for the Guardians of the Revolution, to set you straight about the rules. Who suffers because of social injustice, and what are the consequences of these experiences? People from other countries who want to start a new life in Iran will have a hard time living happy because everyone will think of them as an unequal and would want to stay away. New members will feel excluded and not want in to this country. Maids like Marie also suffers from social injustice. She is not capable of finding a man in Iran because citizens think it's not right for maids to date higher class people. She will always be out of everyone's league. Marjane's father explained, "Their love was impossible. You must stay within your own social class." What conflicts or other themes are introduced through the issue of social justice? Marjane should not have to be in any trouble for listening to Western music or not wearing a veil. The music you listen to should be opinion-based and it defies you as a person. If you are restricted to only one type of music genre, then everyone in that country is the same. The government should not have any restrictions against what music you prefer. This is the same as wearing a veil. If you want to wear your own clothing because that specific style is what you like, the government is basically informing the world that their country does not support human rights, as well as women's rights. The government announced the veil law to protect women from all potential rapists. They decreed that wearing the veil was obligatory. Women should not be forced to wear clothing just because it was written as a law. Connection to Midsummer Night's Dream. The story Persepolis can relate to Midsummer Night's Dream with the concept of what social injustice and relates to the fairness of women. In the story Midsummer Night's Dream, daughter of Aegeus, Hermia was supposed to marry Demetrius. Since Demetrius was Aegeus' favorite over any other person, Aegeus believes that he is the one for Hermia. Hermia does not want to follow through with that marriage because she found love for Lysander, which allows herself to be punished or killed. Consent to marry with Demetrius or to her death, according to the law. If she doesn't agree to marry Demetrius, the father Aegeus has the right to kill her, just as the law says in Athens. This can relate to the social injustice event that happens with Marie the maid. Marie the maid wants to love Hasian, the next door neighbor, but Marjane's father, Marine's boss, does not allow her to see him anymore. Marjane's father went over to Hasian and ended the relationship, telling him she is a maid. In both scenes, you see the woman being treated unfairly and told who to and who not to love. Personal connection to social justice and Persepolis. There is a lot of different social justice issues in the story Persepolis. There are gender, religious views, political views, and social classes. This can relate to a lot of worldwide problems, such as the amount of homeless people. Not many people would fall in love with a homeless person because of what state they are in. No one wants to marry somebody who cannot support themselves. This can relate to Marie the maid because Hasian does not want to fall in love with someone who is a maid. A maid in this story has the same social class as a homeless person in the real world. The end.